Welcome to the show. You're listening to or watching On the Waterfront with Coach. I'm Marina Hernandez here with my dad, Coach.
Hello, welcome back. My name is Ed Barreras. They call me Coach on the Waterfront, and I'm excited about the podcast that we have going to help all the people that don't know too much about the waterfront.
Mm-hmm. And those that do.
And those that do.
Yeah. So a lot it's been a little while since we've recorded. A lot has happened. The other day I got a lashing job. So I had to get it because I got it on second disc, but I had to get it.
Right.
It was not my choice. But I worked in the row, so I got the chains and was like chaining below deck. I never had that job. So all these years, and then I'm still learning something new.
Right. Was it tractors or chassis or what was it?
Mostly chassis, and then the top handler, because there's a top handler that's under the ship. Have you done that before?
No.
There's a top handler that's under the ship, and then there's I guess it's the row. It's like a UTR where the cab spins.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So then he drives into there in the under the ship, and then there's a big top handler in there stacking.
Right.
And then they park some chassis in there.
Right.
So it was a cool job.
Yeah, they use a moppy. There's a moppy in the UTR. The cab turns around and he drives forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was very grateful because the lashers were helpful.
Good.
Yeah.
As they should be. Lashers, when you're out there and you get casuals or new IDs, the best thing to do is help them out because it'll make your job a lot easier. And next time they work with you, they'll know exactly what to do.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was like. Hey, I'm learning. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it felt nice because I always feel like, when you turn in your ticket, I feel like I give it up to the women that started because I'm sure they got looks, talked to, because I can feel it. That I can see when they come and they're like, oh God, especially my height, my size. They're like, oh Lord.
How's she going to do it?
Yeah. But it's nice when they can help and be cool about it. Cause it's already I'm coming in with nerves already.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was a good experience.
Yeah. You guys are brothers and sisters out there. You guys should help one another. That's the most important thing on the waterfront is help each other out.
It's the safest way, right?
Safest way, yes. Indeed.
Also, Dad, I'm actually on my lunch break right now from it.
Yay!
Forklift training, CL training, guys. Yay! So, yeah, the last time we talked, I was just passing my test. Mm-hmm. So now I'm being trained on a CL.
Nice.
And it's so crazy. That thing turns on a dime, the forklift. Oh, yeah. So actually, I'm on my lunch break from it right now. I just had the first half. Paula is my instructor. You said you know Paula.
Oh, I know Paula, and I know the sisters. They're wonderful people. Their dad. No, good family. Very, very, very good family.
Yeah, I felt like she's so positive and I don't know what you would want in a trainer. Someone that's like, hey, you got it. And just.
Well, on that note, maybe we'll get Paula to come on and be on the podcast.
I would love that. Yeah, it was fun. I'm having a good time at the training.
I think she will do it.
You think so?
I think she will.
Okay, I'll propose it to her when I go back.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
But it's so cool too to learn something new. I've been down here, let's see, 17 years as a casual, 4 years as an ID, and I'm just learning something new. So I have nerves, you know what I mean? Right. But I'm like, oh shoot. I don't know, it just feels cool that I can do something, be trained on something and still learn down here.
Right. You have one more year, then you become you get off the board, right? Get off the ID
then
board.
I'll be a BUTR for 5 years.
Yeah, it goes by so fast. It goes by
That's what you keep saying.
It goes by
but
fast.
It's, okay. Let's talk about this. Okay, so something happened at the ID hall, at the hall. Okay. Something happened at the hall, mm-hmm. And now, should we talk about specifics?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll have let's have a dispatcher on to give their perspective on things because
right. There's always two sides to a story out there.
Totally.
Very, somebody may come out strong or something maybe had a bad day. Something happened there, but go ahead.
Okay, credible source that this is what happened. So somebody went to the dock board and asked for off the top. What I've learned is that our board that we see is not the same as the board that the dispatchers see or their screen. Mm-hmm. So our off the top is not the same as the screen's off the top. So off the top, the guy says, I want it off the top. give him his ticket. Problem is, he walked away. They always say, check your ducket at the window.
Absolutely.
That's check your ducket
That's
at the
the
window.
golden rule. That's the golden rule. Check your job. Okay, that's the job I want. Then you walk away.
Yeah.
If
Is
it's
my
not,
work number there? And is this the job I want?
exactly.
So problem was that person walked away from the window. From what I hear, remember there's multiple sides of the story, but this is a credible source. Person walked away from the window and then realized I didn't get the correct job. Their mom was there. Who was also a longshoreman. Their mom was there. So their mom approached them and their mom. This part I'm blurry about. Them and their mom approached the window and were aggressive about it, saying you gave me the wrong job, crumpled up their ticket, threw it at the dispatcher. Dispatcher said, that's it. You guys are off the top for 2 weeks. All IDs are off the top for 2 weeks. Or I don't know if it was said then and there.
But that's what it is now.
That's what it is now.
Yeah.
So now everybody's off the top.
Okay.
It's hard so from my perspective as an ID's perspective, do not get comebacks, do not get EGs, have to do 70%. Now we're off the top. It's just like hit after hit after hit. And it's like, so it's hard to say, hey, we're all brothers and sisters here, very positive when it feels like you're kind of getting kicked down a bit. However, I did talk to somebody who was an ID and they said for 3 years they were off the top. Mm-hmm. So everybody has their thing. It just feels like multiple things are happening and just the morale, it just affects the morale, I feel, on all the work, on all,
Well, my view on that is you guys are casuals. Everybody was a casual at one point. Okay. Now you're in. Now you got to play by their rules. And that's the rules. I mean, hey, it's better be, in than trying to get in. You know what I mean? Now, another thing that I want to point out is that if you have a problem, don't bring somebody else into that problem. It's going to create double problems.
Right.
So that person that got the wrong job, he knew he got the wrong job. After he left the window, he knows the rules that after you leave the window, it's yours. You bought it. It's yours. Mm-hmm. Now, he should have never gotten anybody else, whether it's his mother, brother, sister, cousin, uncle. You don't do that.
Okay.
And I've learned that, not the hard way because that's never happened to me, but I've seen it before. And, you don't get involved. You do not get involved.
Okay. So that's number one.
He should have owned up to his own.
Also, you're working there one day. Yeah. So it's like you got the wrong job.
Exactly.
Work it the one day.
Exactly. And here's the beauty of it. Okay, I got the wrong job. Okay, I don't like it. You go to the job. You don't like it. You reap out. You reap out, and there's no consequence. He never had to get his mom involved, and that would have been it. I mean, that's my feeling, and that's the way I feel about it.
Okay, how did they used to handle it in the past?
Oh, my goodness. Back in the day, if that would have happened, that guy that caused a problem, that threw the ticket back in the window, by the time he got outside that door, he would have gotten beat up. He would have gotten beat up. Yeah. Well, there was a dispatcher years ago now, and the guys were arguing, and the dispatcher turned off the mic, jumped over the wall, came over, hit him, knocked him down, knocked him out, went back and started dispatching. That was it. That's the way
it was handled.
It was handled. The guy didn't have to bring his dad, his mom, or nothing. It was handled just like that.
And then everybody else didn't have to suffer the consequences for 2 weeks.
No, they did not have to suffer the consequences. The problem was solved. That was it.
Right.
Okay, let's continue dispatching. And that was the end of it. But now, of course, you can't resort to violence or anything like that. But
when do you think things change?
Oh, gosh. Probably in the 90s, I think.
Okay.
I don't know exactly when, but...
Yeah. But you saw like a change.
Right? Oh, I saw a change.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen a physical fight at work. And I'm sure you've seen multiple.
Yeah. I think before, when I got in, and even before I got in, it was family orientated where there was, more family involved. So then when they started going to the casual system, and then they started going to PMA picks or whatsoever, you get a mixture, which is good. a mixture is good.
Yeah.
A variety is always good, but I think that's when it changed over when there was different people coming into the union.
Okay.
Yeah, because we handle our own business.
Right.
That's the way it was.
Have you ever gotten a fight?
No,
No.
no, never got in a fight.
Oh, okay.
No, never got in a fight.
Have you had your breakup fights?
As a matter of fact, I had to break up a fight the other day.
What?
Yeah, these guys got in an argument, and one guy says, "Hey, maybe time to put on the gloves or whatever." And the guy goes, "We don't have to put on the gloves." So I jumped in between them and said, "Hey, no, this is going to stop right now."
Uh-huh.
And then so we resolved the problem, and that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
wild.
Yeah,
There's a lot of egos.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on a different note, a sad situation.
Yeah, we lost a brother, Danny Bojorquez. He was down here for many, many years. One of the finest foremen, longshoremen that I've known, and a lot of people, respected Danny. He recently passed away, and they're going to have a gathering. I think at Raffaello's next week sometime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but my deepest condolences go out
Yes.
to his family and to all the longshoremen, ILW members that knew Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy.
Yeah, I've worked with him a few times on the rails at LBCT.
Great guy.
Yeah, he was very quiet, I
Yeah,
felt, right?
yeah,
A real quiet
yeah.
guy.
Real nice
But
guy.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so sad that
Yeah.
a lot of people are,
Yeah.
because he's not our first one that we've
No,
talked
no,
about
no,
on the
no,
show.
no. We've lost a few.
Yeah,
lately.
we gotta. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Okay. On the brighter note, I want everybody to see the shirt I'm wearing. I'm going to publicize it right here. It's your husband Fernando's batting cage, and it's open to all little leagues. And he has private lessons that he gives.
he's a very good hitting coach.
He does a great job. He's what I know about him is he's real patient.
Yeah.
And you have to be patient because he deals with a young kid that's 7, 8 years old, and then he has older kids. So Fernando does a good job, and I'd recommend everybody. And the price is real reasonable, and it's
That for him is like really important. He's not looking to like.
no, he doesn't want to break the bank.
No, not at all. He wants it to be affordable, like super affordable. He wants kids that are wanting to learn, are wanting to get better. Not that their parents are wanting them to get better, but the kids also want to be better.
Right.
That's his ideal, client, I would say.
Right. And we are fortunate that my grandson, your son, that Fernie he can hit that ball.
He sure can. Luna just hit a triple the other day.
Yeah. So they're both good players. So
Yeah.
if the parents are out there and they want to say, hey, this kid's pretty good, hey, Fernando's the one that guides him, shows him what to do.
Totally.
Yeah. So
The Power Alley batting cage. It's in Long Beach. So thank you, Dad. Thank
Yeah.
you for doing that. Also on the show today, we have Valerie, who I was a casual with, Valerie Armstrong, and her dad, Donald, who's a crane operator. So another father-daughter duo.
right.
I learned a lot. Honestly, I learned a lot from Donald.
Yeah.
Like,
Donald's been down here a while.
yes, for sure. Yeah. And he had, I think, 83. So right around when you started.
I got
would
in
think.
82.
Yeah, so I think he started 83. He told me a bunch of stories that I didn't know about, so I enjoyed it. So I think you guys will enjoy listening to the interview, and let's get to it.
Okay, I'm Donald Filman. All right.
Hi, everybody. I'm Valerie Armstrong, 137540. I'm currently at ID on the day side.
I am Donald Armstrong. I am an A-man crane operator for 40 years. And I'm getting ready to retire in a couple of years.
Nice. Where do you work, Donna? You said you were steady. Where do you
Oh
work?
yeah, I was steady I've been around. So the last job was ITS. I was with SSA. I went over there and I did like 34 moves in that hour. They were like, oh yeah, we get, So
They're like, we like
they hired me. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's typical, right?
yeah.
30-ish moves for a hammerhead or crane operator.
Starting off is real good. So I did that, and so about a week later, there was a particular ship, and you had to pick the lids up, but you had to move them. But nobody told me. So I picked the lids up and there were some reefers on, and I just opened them all up like a
my
can opener.
gosh.
And all you saw was the condensation coming out of those cans.
Were you like, oops?
Oh.
Were they calling you on the radio?
No, the boss said, he just said, ice cream for everybody. So I was like, oh, okay, that was, But then layoffs. So it's been a lot of layoffs, in the
Yeah.
industry. And they go through it. And you kind of, at first it just kills your ego and your heart. But then you get used to it. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what?
That's what
Just
Valerie.
part of it.
That's what she was saying earlier. If you like instability and chaos, then this is a job for you because
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, I don't know if there's going to be work or not, and hard to
Yeah.
plan.
Right.
And especially, so I met Valerie at the casual hall. We casualed together.
Yeah.
I was T4638.
I was 4692.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're real close.
Yeah.
But yeah, back in those, like, because there was, how long did it take? Okay, so how long did it take you to become a ID?
I got registered in '06, but I had a second job at Dominguez Hills in the cashier's office. I was there from '09 to 2004. No, I was there from 2006 to 2014. But in 2014, I quit. I didn't tell anybody because I had made my mind up. I'm like, I don't want a speech. Like my dad would have said, well, and this and that. He would have gave me like your pros and cons. And I was like, no, this is what I want to do.
No, I wanted you to quit that earlier.
Okay.
When I first, I wanted her to quit the job at the college so she could get all those hours.
Yeah.
That's the thing that held her. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was calling me a lifer. Like, you're going to be a lifer,
Yeah.
you're going to be a lifer. And I was like, just give me a little challenge and I'm going to show you different. So I was like, I'm going to quit my job. And I did. So from 14 to 20, what was that, December, when we got our letters. So January, we had the orientation. So technically January of 2022, that's when, what is that, 7 years?
Yeah.
So I was collectively, it was from '06 to 2022, but from 14 to 2022, that's when I really put in I was going hard. So yeah. It
And
was
probably
rough.
from '06 to 14, there hardly wasn't they didn't elevate anybody for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Right.
Of just casually hitting the grind.
Right.
And
Has anybody experienced that?
I don't, what was it like for you when you had
Oh, it just went quick. Like for me, it was
She's like,
a year.
like,
It was a year
where
because
start? When did
it
you
was a
start?
year.
And how?
I started in 2000 and
No,
I'm sorry, yeah.
1980.
1983. In 83, I started, and then that end of 84, we got in, and then 85, we were able, because
That's crazy.
we were because of the
be legal.
women. It was because of the Golden Decree suit.
Oh, what is that?
That was the women's getting in. They sued, and they had to bring them in, and they had to elevate them within a year. So we rode the coattails of the ladies that time.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
So they brought in
They
whoever
just
was
said that
in.
we're gonna bring everybody in that group. It was like 500 of us. And they were like, we're gonna bring everybody in. That way the men don't have to countersuit, and because they've had that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was called the Golden Decree. Golden Decree.
Decree. Is it degree or decree?
Decree? Okay.
I guess.
Either.
Yeah. But that's funny because we were there for 10. There were no lawsuits, no nothing. I actually quit my job at the time, I think the last group of people that had got in before I quit, they got in with like 1,800 hours. And I was like, oh, I have 400 and some hours. It'll take me this and this and that. Total game changer. It did not happen. And then the recession happened. So once, what was that? In 2013, 14 was like the good year when we were just working that full year nonstop. Was that 14?
I don't remember.
So I think it was 2014, if I'm not mistaken, because when I quit, I just remember coming over and working all the time. And the hall was just cycling and cycling. For the casual hall to cycle, there's a lot of work. Yeah. And we're like, they need to elevate us. And they still didn't do it for a while. It was, I don't know.
The ladies doing that decree, they came in with 8 hours. Some of them got in with like 8 hours.
Wow.
Floor.
Because they didn't work at the couch because they needed the ladies to come in at that time. And so I just remember it was this one young lady. She came to the job and she had a UTR. And she came and she was fully dressed in coverall. I mean, she had her boots on, helmet and everything, and she had a UTR. And we were like, "What are you doing?" 'Cause we were under we were like, "What job do you have?" Right? What job? She's
Yeah.
like, "I'm driving this truck." Oh. I was like, "Oh." It was this boss at the time was John Carr. That was his daughter. And it was so funny. And then there was a guy, because like I said, they didn't have any experience. So this one guy, they told him, "Hey, go get this bomb card, come and bring it in." And so he got the bomb card and he went and pulled it under the hook. Well, made about 3 rounds. Next thing you know, he came back. He was like, "Hey, boss, there's no more bomb cards." He was parking the bomb cans with the bomb.
Oh my God. So
Yeah,
he
'cause
was one
he
of the
didn't
guys
know.
who had like 8 hours.
He was like one of those people that came in, like,
Wow.
didn't
Didn't know.
didn't really know.
Casual.
Yeah.
He was-
Yeah, he didn't know anything. So yeah, he was parking bomb carts, and everybody was like, "Oh man, this is crazy." It's like,
Yeah.
Crazy.
yeah, but it was good. It was really good because everybody got to get in, and you know what I'm
On
saying.
the same
You guys,
wave, yeah.
It was, and the work was plentiful. It was just crazy at the time when us 500 got in. The work was just crazy at that time. Jobs were hanging, guys were picking up jobs knowing that they weren't going to start working, so they had to pay you the 4, and then they go back to the hall and get another one.
Wow.
Same thing. So
They
that's
were
when they
working
started.
it.
They were working the system real tough. And then PMA finally started that allocation thing where you got to fit, you have to get this ship going before you dispatch this ship. So that's what they were doing with the IDs at the time. Okay, we're gonna make sure that job fills. So they started that allocation where it would be like who's ever at the top. They made sure that those got filled. And so,
Yeah.
it was crazy, crazy work. You didn't have to double back. You could be on the day side and triple and you worked the system.
Imagine.
I know.
Yeah. So.
Well, it kind of was like that, I think, at first, when we first, like, was that 2005, maybe, like, because I think you said you were, I think my time, I might have been like 11,000 on the list or 13,000 somewhere. But if you were like in that 3,000, like one of my friends, Nicole, she's super cargo now because she was
Wow.
like working like that day and night. She got in real quick. So
Wow.
it just is like a matter of the lottery and when you get picked. And
It's about timing. I told one of the newer casuals that came in recently, they were casualing for like 2-3 years. And, some of them boast and brag, like, "You worked how long?" And I said, "You know what? It's just about timing. That's it. You came in on the right time. And we came in at a time where they were trying to sift and figure things out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't get mad. If they tease me, it's like, I have more experience. It's like, big deal.
yeah.
But, yeah, the casuals now sound like the 8 hours people that you had.
The ones that came in, like, and they weren't even at top pay. Like,
Yeah,
they
it
weren't
was-
even at top pay. We're like over here with 5,000 hours,
6,000,
6,000
yeah.
hours getting in.
Somebody
yeah.
has 7.
See, yeah, and then someone comes in not top pay. We're like, but you can't hate on them. I mean,
Absolutely not.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. Like, hey, good on you. You got in the way you did.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
Lucky.
But, yeah, but it's still, yeah, I got more experience than you. So
Yeah. Call me if you need anything. Yeah.
Was your dad? How did you get your casual card?
We had gone to the drive-in. They were giving out apps like that through the drive-in, And
What do you mean the drive-in?
the drive-in
The
theater
movie.
in San
At the
Pedro.
movie theater?
They have a clip of it.
So they had a time that you had to be there, and then you get in line, then you drive through, and they would just hand the applications.
Crazy.
So it was a bunch of us. We were all in a van waiting. You know, it was a gang of us, and all of them now are pretty much, you know, supercargos. The girls are supercargos, and yeah, the guys more bosses and crane
Oh
operators.
my
now.
gosh.
So that's what
Okay.
it
So
was.
they handed you an application, then
Then we had to bring it back in. And the thing with what happened with me, I was denied the first time. So it really, in all honesty, it was a setup. So they registered all of who they wanted to register at that time. You know, they got them in. And then we had to appeal. It was a group of us that was appealing. It was 8 of us. We appealed. They assured us we were going to get in. So
Nice.
and that's what happened. So we had to appeal. And it was crazy because when it was 4 guys. This guy Bob, they had a thing where they had been working out the back door of the, you know, and so they had hours. Bob and these guys would they would bring actually in the back door of but not that hall, the old hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they bring a job and give them these guys
actually in the back door.
at the back door.
Are you
That's called the
serious?
back door. Yeah, they were doing all kind of, you know. So they got in, you know, those guys, and no, Bob and them didn't get in. They got in with us on the appeals thing too. So we were sitting in the hall, and they called out these guys' names. It was Bob, this guy Albert. I forget Sandoval's first name. They called them in first, and we were like, "Dang, they getting in, and we gonna get dumped again." That's what we were thinking. So the guy came, the committee member came in, though. He was like, "Let me tell you what's going on. These 4 guys were, they tested for marijuana. They tested positive, so they're not going to be." And we were like, "Oh no, Bob and them are going to get." Oh my gosh! So Albert, he wasn't there though, and so when they caught up with him, the old hall used to just be. It was like a dust bowl. That if you've ever seen that, it was no parking across there. We used to call it Busterville back then because it was a homeless guy named Buster and his crew. They lived in the parking lot. It was just a dust. They called it the Dust Bowl because it was just dirt.
It's right here where the old
Where the
hall
old
is.
hall is,
Where the
and
casuals are.
Where the
C Street?
casual,
Yeah, yeah.
The
where
C
the
Street?
where the parking is across the street.
Yeah, yeah.
That used to be the Dust Bowl. They called it.
Oh,
That was
wow.
Busterville. And so, yeah,
Poor Buster.
yeah, that was, and so we caught up with Albert, and we told Albert, and Albert fainted right there.
Literally?
Yes,
He
he
was
fell.
just-
We told him what happened. He just poof. And it was funny, but really not because you know, it was dust. And when
Yeah.
he failed, it was like,
It was like,
like a cloud.
like abracadabra.
Yeah. And he's like, no, but they eventually.
Wait, because he
appealed.
was one that he
There
didn't
was,
the
yeah,
drug
he didn't
pass the drug test.
Right. So after that though, what made them do what they did, those guys, is because now there was a guy, Mike's been deregistered, but Mike had gone to his physical, and Mike smoked a joint before he went in.
That's
And
crazy.
but he didn't fail. They didn't fail him because at the time they weren't looking for marijuana. They were just looking for heroin and heavy
Crack.
drugs.
Okay.
Yeah. So he knew it and he went and smoked. So then them guys just figured, but they changed it in the middle. They
oh my
changed it.
gosh. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So when we went, they had changed it and made marijuana part of it. So they figured the same thing.
That is
I was like,
insane.
I'm glad I wasn't smoking. I said, I'm glad I didn't smoke.
Yeah, then you don't have to worry. But was a short period of time between when they switched the.
Yeah, because Mike was 55-17 at the time, if I remember his number.
Wow.
He was 55, and we were 57 numbers.
Okay.
So it was like, like I said, that during that time they were like registering because it was 500 of us. They were, and the work was just coming off like it was so
They
much
needed
work.
you.
They needed us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really needed us. So yeah, so them guys were like, oh my God, they all thought, but they eventually brought them in and told them you'd let anybody know that this is what we're looking for now. So they made sure those were the last. So we ended up calling them the marijuana 8 because there was 8 of them, but I don't remember all of them.
But they
I thought
ended
it was
up.
only the 4, but it was 8 of them.
But they ended up letting them come.
They ended up registering
Well,
eventually.
you
They
just
did.
told the secret. You just told the secret.
What
They
secret?
said, "Don't tell nobody."
No. They said you tell everybody from this point on that marijuana is part of the physical. You
Yeah.
can
That's
be
a big
felt.
thing. That was a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Even now,
It was
yeah.
crazy, yeah. In my 40 years, I've seen so much stuff.
That's
Guys
crazy.
have wraps on the beer cans. If you ever, and at that time, I really, I was 27. So I'm looking at it, and this guy we were on the lifts. And so he kept going into his cooler, and, he's drinking, but he was putting the wrap on. But it was 7 Up, a 7 Up wrap. And I've seen those hanging in the liquor store, but I never knew what they were. You just see something, never paid. So he was putting that on there, and he's drinking beer. I'm thinking he's drinking 7 Up. I'm like, this dude is getting drunk on 7 Up. How is he? So after he got so drunk, he just took the wrap and put it on, like hanging off. And then
Oh my God!
You start getting a little sloppy.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like I said, I didn't know, I didn't know what they were, but
That's
I thought
crafty.
Yeah.
That's
That's what my dad
crafty.
said when they first started. Like that's the first thing that would get loaded was the ice chest.
Yeah,
Into
the
the
ice chest.
hole.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
First thing to get loaded.
That was.
But what is the ice chest? What is?
That was the beer and liquor in the ice
Okay.
chest.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd have down in the ships, we would have cook, they cook lobster, because lobster would be in the frozen. So we had
That's
lobster, crab, and fish, and they actually would cook inside the ship.
Down in
So
the
there were
hole.
lockers. Yeah, there were lockers down there, freezers. There were actually freezers. So you have to go in only so much to
Yeah.
go in, and then you come out in another group they had. So we're in there chopping ice with, actually the fish and everything was just in there. It wasn't in boxes and
Oh, so was it like because I'm picturing like a reefer that you would like walk into like a reefer.
yeah. So in the ship, it's this big, it's a big refrigerator.
Okay.
In there. They had these lockers, and there was several of them. And you go in there and you have a crowbar and you chop it, you had to chop the stuff out and throw it into these buckets. A lot of stuff wasn't like it is today. You didn't have
okay.
containerized. When I first got in, it was different. And so, the guys were very resourceful. They would just figure ways to cook and do,
That's crafty.
Yeah. And I tell you, it was one. Now, this stuff was in boxes. They had the shrimp actually in boxes. They had these boxes down. So we go, and everybody's getting boxes of shrimp, and they're, take them to the car. So it's time to leave, and a guy comes in. He says, "Hey, customs is at the end of the gate, and they're checking cars because they could do that." So it's like, oh man. So all of a sudden you see people pulling out. They pull out, customers check them. Everybody's gone, right? And you look down back at the parking stalls, and every stall had boxes of crab sitting in there. Everybody stuffed it under their car, rolled out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And all the boxes. Were
All the
still
boxes were sitting there. All the boxes were sitting there in a stall in the park. Yeah, you were like, oh.
And back then they didn't have the cameras.
No, they didn't have no, and they would, like I said, it was a long drive, a long parking lot.
Yeah.
It was a long parking lot. So
Wow.
they didn't think to look down to see everybody passed out. I'm quite sure by that time they looked in there and said, "Oh my God, everybody has."
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
So the longshoremen took their share, just
Yeah.
just a little piece,
just take this. Yeah.
Just a little bonus.
Yeah,
a little bonus.
Yeah. But the guys, like on the fruit, they would give us pallets. Okay,
wow.
this is for you guys. These are, don't bust open the rest of these pallets.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so they
Because
would
they
give you-
knew
they knew
your
we were
routine.
busting open the pallets, so they like, hey,
That's
just
crazy.
give them, give them fruit. Yeah, and then that way they won't, And I guess they probably wrote it off as,
That's a
damage.
smart way to do
It
it.
is.
Yeah,
It is.
Keep it from.
How cool. Oh, I love the old stories of how it used to be because it's so different now. It's so, I don't know, it's so boring. It's just cans. We don't know what's in them. Like nothing
Right.
kind of fun and hands-on and exciting like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. Yeah. It was a different. Believe me, it was a different waterfront back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Did anything happen to you that was like very unusual or scary or anything like that?
no, just back at the old NYK, their ground for a long time was like uneven.
It's
It was still
It
like
was
that.
well,
Yeah.
this was in the trans roads though.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
has changed.
Oh, okay. Well,
They've only paved that one pathway, like going from one end of the yard. What is that, over to W or like the 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
see the concrete where the transit sit.
Yeah. It's
That
bad.
wasn't there. That wasn't. But that concrete wasn't there.
What was it?
So it was just the asphalt, and so it would get hot. So you driving, I'm going, and all of a sudden the trans is like, and it just came back, and I was like, oh no, this is crazy.
Because you were driving the trans and,
And
it dipped.
It dipped, yeah, because the ground got hot and that asphalt sunk in and it dipped. Scared me. To this day, I don't like driving trans. I do not.
So you
'Cause-
thought you were going to tip over or
Oh yeah,
fall?
yeah. One
That's
guy
crazy.
did. One guy did. Luckily, he was on 5 high cans, so it tipped on the cans. And
So he didn't go too far?
Yeah, no, he didn't get hurt like that. Yeah, it just tipped over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was some. Yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
Yeah, NYK. I don't like going there for that reason. It's
Yeah.
so bumpy
When you're driving. oh,
When you're
okay.
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
got the worst. That's like one of the reasons I don't go there.
Same,
Yeah.
same. But I love their rails.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're in and out. But as far as UTR, I'll dockle off. But the UTR, no.
And yeah, now it's different. Dockaloff, they don't let you really get out and go through the piles to check the backside. You have to drive around because I think
Oh,
somebody
right.
got
Yeah.
maybe got really
Yeah.
hurt. Like when they came out and checked the backside of the piles. So now
Yeah.
now you got to drive. So it takes a little longer, but I guess
Hey.
it's safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to go home. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But the thing is, over there, I think at one of the terminals, the guy got ran over. Going in there, looking in the back, the signal.
Oh, the trans.
the transferring.
He casualed with us.
Oh, the guy did?
Gosh, I can't remember his name. He didn't have any
Was it
kids.
right when we came in? Like right around that time?
Yeah, yeah. Remember he hit his, I think his vest had got caught onto,
Oh, they caught him on the.
yeah, you know how the
guard.
trans has the wheels and then the guard, it got caught.
Oh,
and
that's
he-
how he got snapped.
I
pulled
believe
under?
so. I don't want to start a rumor, but I believe that's what
what I heard.
happened. Yeah. And it ran, he was screaming and it just, he
Yeah, the
tried to
guys
stop.
that, the guys that shooting pictures around, they were like really upset
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
were shooting because with
Yeah.
these phones,
Yeah.
everything goes viral quick. I mean, right away.
Yeah, and It's, especially down here, I feel like if it's like I've seen many pictures. I didn't see that picture, but also
I
it
didn't
does
either.
feel like if it's a death, that feels disrespectful to
It
send
is.
that around. You know, if
Yeah.
that was
But people,
someone in
yeah.
your
Yeah.
family, you would
Right.
not want that out.
You don't want to see it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a picture. It was a guy. His head, something happened to his finger, but his skin was just dangling down here, and you could see it's just his bone.
Oh my
He ripped his hand
gosh.
out
ripped his
probably
hand
when he that must have been that guy that put that cone and then the can came back.
I think
saw
it was
that?
that. Yeah, I saw the
They sent the
picture,
picture
of it.
of it, yeah.
Oh my
He was just
gosh.
sitting down like this, like just like his facial expressions were normal, just like this, and the skin was just like a turtleneck, just like
Right, cool down, huh?
down right there. You
Right.
see his bone. I'm like, what am I looking at?
Same.
Right.
And he was calm.
He was calm. He was
Maybe in
just
shock?
In shock. Oh,
Yeah.
had to have been in
Definitely-
shock. Had to have been
Definitely
in shock.
Yeah. Imagine what's going through your head during that time, you know?
But I don't know. So
That's
many
crazy.
things like that.
Wow.
Luckily, you're intact. You've made it so far.
Yeah, it's been close. It's been close. My very first day of the day before that I was going to be an ID, and everybody always said, "No, don't go to work until you get in." And those. But that Friday came up, and it was a job, and I took it. It was a still job, and so they had to change. And what they used to do is, in order to break the pile, they would take the chain with the hook and they put it on the pipe so they could move so many pipe with it. Well, this particular one, they hooked one of the chains on the pipe. And so I was bending down to grab some dunnage. And when he tightened up on it, the other chain just swung around. And I caught it at the last second, and it just nicked me right on that bone. But it hurt. It was that still just, I mean, it caught me just enough. But if I wouldn't have, it probably would have killed me.
Did you move? Did you
Oh,
move?
yeah.
Okay.
Because I caught a glimpse of it as it was, and I was like, and it shot. That's when it caught that bone. It was like, oh, like that. I was like, I should have listened.
I would
Yeah.
see like pictures of my dad when I would go in his room. And you know, just paper pictures, when you take the pictures, you get them developed. And he had on like this white suit.
That was,
You know what I'm talking about? And he was smiling. And you just see all this machinery. It just looked very industrial in the back. And I'm like, what does he do?
that was the coke doc.
Yeah.
So,
One day he
Coke
took
doc,
us to work. That's when you could bring, like you didn't need a TWIC card.
yeah.
And we would help him with the pink and green magnets.
Oh yeah.
You got a clerk job? And I told my dad one day, I was like, when I get older, I'm going to come work here just like you. And he was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. We were going over the St. Thomas Bridge. Cause I'm like, this is so easy and cool. You know, you take magnets off and you write it down. It's easy.
Yeah, that was a clerk
Yeah,
job. I had an easy clerk job that day. I only had so much to do. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And,
He got us from school.
yeah.
Me and my brother, we were just in there like that. The burrito lady used to be at the hall. My dad would buy us burritos. We just sit. At the time, he had a white Tahoe. No, it's Suburban. It was like an 85. We had our blankets. It was a full routine. In the morning, we would get up maybe like around 5, head over to the donut shop. We get our chocolate milk, donuts. And then my dad would take us to the hall. We would be in the back, laying down, knocked out, get in the car, and he would drop us off at school. And what he did after that, I'm not sure. But I saw a lady who was working with him at that time, and I had a clerk job in the tower over at Merce. And she's like, you're Donald Armstrong's daughter? I said, yeah. She's like, I'm so happy you're not fat. He used to feed you donuts all the time. I'm like, don't remember the lady, but that was the thing. Like, we had breakfast burritos,
Yeah.
donuts, and chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's Gina Bradshaw. That was
Yeah.
Gina Bradshaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
She still is hammering me about that.
Right. Like,
You used to give them donuts.
donuts every day.
Something of apple for
Oh,
breakfast,
they got
something
that.
healthy.
That was just them to hold on until.
Yeah. Until
they
lunch.
got-
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
so
so
fun.
you were going down there. That's really cool. I love that about like my
Yeah.
dad was saying a story about he used to take me to the hall. He's like, yeah, I put you on my bike, and then I go down and get my job, and you'd be in the back of my bike. And I of course don't remember because I was too little, but I was like, yeah, I've been down here. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Feels familiar. But-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And here we are. Yeah. But you didn't want Valerie to be a longshoreman, or
No, after a while, because it was just ruthless down here for women in the very beginning. It was, I mean, the guys used to write. I just remember this one thing that they wrote on the, and they were like, the only board for a woman is the ironing board.
What?
That was written,
that is crazy.
That was written on the cranes. They had guys took chalk and, but so, and they gave them so much problems. They just would give women problems. But what's so crazy about it though, after, they're there, leave them alone. And all those guys that used to do all of it was the ones that ended up marrying somebody.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, they ended up being the ones that married, And so I was like, used to write all that stuff on the crane. I bet your wife didn't.
Right.
I didn't know it was you.
Didn't know it was you, huh? Yeah, it was so, yeah. But it was, yeah. So with that, I didn't want her going through, going through that. So, but as time went on, everything changed.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's.
Have you experienced any like negativity or anything like as a woman on the waterfront?
No.
Yeah, I would say me neither.
You hadn't experienced any?
I have not.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different, I think, is like being a woman down there is there's a lot of men down there. So I don't want to give anybody the wrong idea. I'm married,
Yeah.
So it's like a relationship. It's like a different kind of relationship.
Yeah.
That's why I feel a bond more with the women because I know that I'm not, if I'm
Right.
friendly with her, it's not doing
Yeah.
anything, So
Yeah.
so that's the only thing that I feel like I can't really develop I got all these friends at work. Like for me, I'm like, I'm friendly, but I don't let it go where
That's the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at
And
the
Marina's a tough cookie because she'll tell you like it is. She's nice, but she's like, no.
Right. Well, you have to be.
you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I developed that, I think,
Yeah.
down here.
Uh-huh.
Because I think if you don't stick up for yourself in a lot of situations,
Yeah.
you can get pushed around.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah,
Most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. I've seen it. It's crazy thing, but I've also seen where it silver lining after
Yeah.
because I've seen girls sue and they got shot directly over the clerking because the guys
wow.
was harassing them and doing something. Yeah, I've seen them.
wow.
Kim May's thing was, you know what? Here, if you don't do this, you go over it. Yeah, and so.
What's
Yeah,
harassment?
I think
13.2 or no?
Yeah, that's 13. That's part of 13.2. And yeah,
that's the rule book for it.
that's in
I think so.
13.2 in your
13.2.
in your safety and that's in the safety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's 13.2.
Yeah, I haven't felt it. See, I didn't even know
Discrimination
that.
and
Oh, okay.
harassment is discrimination and harassment. So
Yeah.
if a guy is constantly harassing you, or if he's calling you names, that's grounds for. And PMA
wow.
will come out immediately. They'll come out immediately.
Just
'Cause I had a guy.
they don't want problems.
Yeah.
I had a guy. He was from Seattle, and Seattle was totally different at that time, right?
Yeah.
And so he was calling me the N-word.
What?
Yeah, he was calling me the N-word. So I actually retaliated on him. I had gotten into my UTR, and I had went to break and came back, and he was in my, and I was like, hey man, that's my UTR. So I climbed up, I had to climb up on it. And I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, you in my UTR, this is not your UTR. And he used the N-word, and I kicked him off the UTR. Yes, I did. I actually kicked him in the butt off of the UTR. When he did that. And when PMA actually came out because of that, and the lady was like, your ass deserved it. Because you right now can be deregistered for, get a year off of be deregistered for your
saying that? Yeah.
For your actions. And so I just told her, I was like, no, let him, I think he learned his lesson.
Like I handled it.
I
Yeah.
was like, basically I'm like, it don't need it, but in the future,
Well, that was good on you because you could have said, yeah, I want to pursue something.
Yeah, I could have got him deregistered
Yeah.
right away. They don't play. PMA just don't play. I was so shocked when she came out. so fast. That lady came out so quick. I was like, dang,
But I
we
think
don't
it's
get
just
this
so many
reaction out of the
people.
union, you know.
Yeah. Someone is waiting to replace him. So it's like,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I could see why they would handle it that way. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was my first time because I didn't know how things went, and I wanted to take off. You know, so I'm like, man, who do I call to take off? So I called the dispatch, and I was playing like I'm sick. I'm sick, so how do I take off and let somebody know? And the dispatcher said, hey, you just take off. Somebody's here to take your place.
Right, right.
I was like, what? Like that? Took that whole week off. Took that first year. Took my week off. I was like, oh, but
Oh,
then
when
I first started, when I first got in, because I
Yeah.
didn't realize what was going. I took that, but then
You're like,
I didn't
oh,
get
why
no,
is it then?
You didn't get no money.
I didn't get no check. All the week, I was like, oh, I gotta go to work.
There's the people with our job and they don't understand it. They're like, Val, you don't have to go to work. I'm like, there's thousands of people to cover what I don't. And they just don't understand it. They're
Right.
like, wow, I wish I could do that. I said, but I'm not a PTO, worker. I don't get paid if I don't go to work. And they're like, oh, you don't have to call. No, I just don't check in.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's for some people it's a hard concept.
It
it really is because you have to think all of the things, the benefits we have to not go to work if you don't want to. You work in half a day sometimes an hour and a half. People just don't see that. And you're getting paid the whole day. And I'm like, oh, so.
It's truly a blessing.
Yeah.
They used to tell us like it gets better when you get in, and I'm just like, yeah. When are we gonna get in? But it does. It truly does. What have you experienced from being a casual to an ID that's better, like beneficial?
I feel like, well, we don't have them anymore, but the comebacks I feel like were huge because then you
Yeah.
don't have to go to the hall all the time. And just, having the schedule, like having a schedule that I can plan. Because when you're a casual, you're just going there and seeing what happens. So having a schedule that I can plan, I feel like is like, for me, the biggest thing. But I can't wait to elevate so then I can. Not the 70%. My dad and I were having a huge conversation about it before. That 70% is killing.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, go back and be a casual then. Like, would you rather this or be a casual? But I feel like, because what I told him was, it's like as if you started high school, freshman year, went through sophomore, junior, senior, and then your freshman year of college, having to work or having to be there 5 days a week.
Right.
No summer break. Like even through your summer break, you really just get a vacation and spring break and winter break. But you're expected to be there.
Right.
All freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, all that. So it's just the length of time. But we're getting close. Like Val's January and February. So we're like, and then and people just elevated. So there's really, it's
there's
good.
some people for
our
May,
group.
right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
That's good.
Well, thanks you guys for being here. Sorry we couldn't do it a little longer.
It's okay.
But
Thank you.
thank you so much. I loved hearing the stories. Yes. Thank you for listening and watching the show. For more content, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at On the Waterfront Podcast.
Right. And please like, follow, and subscribe. It could really help us out.
And thank you to our partners at the Avalon Arts and Cultural Alliance.
Thank you, Uncle Harry.